All right, good morning, everyone. It is 9:04 in the morning of November 26th, 2021, and this is my pre-market strategy session. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. If you're not American, Thanksgiving is unique to the United States, and it's a lot of fun. Love the Thanksgiving holiday. It is great to be grateful and thankful. Okay, so first thing up today is AHPI. So AHPI, I'm going to take a look at it on the daily here. This is one that has popped up before, and 985, for whatever reason, I have 985. I'm on the, let's see, what is this? The 19th of July, around about that date, 19th of July, 2021. I may have traded this one, I may not, I don't remember. But for whatever reason, I had $9.85 marked off right here. And then this morning here in the pre-market, it popped up above 9.85 here, and it couldn't quite hold it. Actually, you know something? I'm going to put another mark on this daily right here to the top of this candle. So the 985 isn't quite to the top of the candle. I don't know why I put it at 985 on that day, but it's still there, so I'm gonna leave it there. So let's see, 1019 is the top of that candle. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, pre-market here, you can see on the 1 minute chart, pre-market, it went to a high of $10.19 in the pre-market and fell away. So $10.19 is a spot of resistance there for AHPI. The news on AHPI is that it's popping up, which is annoying. Allied Healthcare shares soared 73% following a 2.2% loss in the previous session. That's not news. That's just stating what's obvious, really. So right now, as of right now, it was the leading gapper. It's not the leading gapper anymore. So I don't like trading anything with no news. This thing is just popping up. Actually, so let's check stock twits here real quick. I'm on my other machine. If you can't see the checking of stock twits. So I'm just kind of gonna narrate it for you. Let's see. What's the news, bulls? Yeah, nobody really knows. Pre-market scanners. Let's see. Is she gonna run up over $9 again, or did I catch the highest dip? LOL. Watch list continuations. Mask companies up on COVID worries. Okay, levels of interest. Okay, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11, $10, $12, and $13. Okay, so they're a mask maker. There's some new variant of COVID that I don't know much about, and so people are freaking out a bit. And that actually kind of explains. Let's go over here to large cap movers. Why everything in my large cap movers is red except for Invax, which is Novavax, which is a vaccine manufacturer, as well as Moderna. So Moderna's up 13.56% this morning. Invax is up 7%, and everything else is red. And we'll get to why everything else is red here in just a moment as well. There's China, communists. I don't get it. I don't understand why we're so cozy with China. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Next up, BFRI. Now, this is one that was popping up from a couple of days ago. And, okay, BioFrontera launches clinical photodynamic therapy study program for amylose, shares down. This is November 16th news, and I remember actually looking for news on this, and I still haven't been able to find news on it. I don't know why it's moving the way it is. In fact, and also Let's see, BFRI stock twits. I remember looking for it on stock twits, and it couldn't. It could. Oh, okay. Here we go. About to crack 10 million pre-market volume. Insane. Here's why I like the stock, and think it has more potential than LGVN's run. Wow. Biofrontera has 2 FDA-approved drugs and treatments. The float is micro. Yeah, 3 million. The float is really low. They just IPO'd, so no offering is coming till next year at least. Okay, so yeah, that's a good sign. Volume was insane Wednesday. Yeah, the volume was insane Wednesday. Yeah, this volume right here, this volume is 226 million shares. That is insane. That is a huge amount of volume for a stock. Let's see. I mean, ultimately, the move was $2.61. I mean, from bottom to top on, what was that, the Wednesday, a $2.61 move in absolute terms of the move is tiny for 226 million shares. Really tough. I don't remember if I traded this or not, but I remember looking at it. And yeah, that's really tough, choppy trading. I had 499. Yeah, I remember I had 499 marked on this one because it was the high. It was the all-time high. This thing IPO'd back here in late October, so it's only been around for a month. Yeah, this thing really could run today. So BFRI, it's on close watch. We'll see what happens. $7.36 is its all-time high. Today in the pre-market, it spiked it. It spiked $7. You can see here, spiked $7.36, and then couldn't stay above it. Now it's bull flagging. This is a bull flag. So let's see. At the open, it could launch. We'll see what happens. There's only about 19 more minutes until it opens, so I kind of need to hurry up here. Okay, Ispc. This is another one. All-time high here is at $18.50. You can see right now it's trying to break through that all-time high. So we ought to see some action on this one. The news on this one, let's see, I've got it in my notes here. It's from a couple of days ago. It's interesting. Ispc. On the 23rd of November. That's interesting. I must have skipped. I remember now. Ispc started popping up after the pre-market, after the market open, I should say. So it wasn't. It's not my pre-market notes. On the 23rd, I have Ispc continuation. This thing just recently won some kind of a government contract. Let's see. iSpecimen picked to supply human biospecimens for COVID-19 research. Shares rally. Yeah, so anything with this new variant that's come out, anything COVID related, that's probably going to, mask related, COVID related, so on and so on, it's probably going to catch a bid. You can see here it hit its all-time high here, broke through it a bit. Pardon me, I need to cough. Pardon me, sorry about that. And is pulling away here pre-market. If I were to guess, I'm guessing this thing's probably going to pull back just a little bit and then charge forward. The float is extremely low. It's let's see, 7 million. Well, actually, outstanding at 7 million. The float, let me check. Ispc, the float, yeah, it's 3.2 million. So it has the potential to squeeze very rapidly. Okay. So then Zoom, ZM, here's another trade. Right now, let me go to the daily first. Here's this gigantic gap. Let's see, Zoom gapped down. It closed on November 22nd at $242.28 and then opened the next day at $218.05. Only made about another 50-cent move higher on that day, and then dropped down significantly on really significant volume. 25 million shares traded on this day right here. Here's another big gap down day. That's 34 million shares. So right now, having I don't know, whatever is going on with this new COVID strain, it's really got people freaked out apparently. Zoom is popping up into the middle of its gap. This is tough. When something is in the middle of its gap, it's hard to make the call. I mean, yeah, it's popping up right now. Does it pop up and test the upper end of the gap first, or does it go down and test the bottom end of the gap first? I don't know. This is one of those things where it'll be, where you'll want to watch the level 2. I would say on this, watch the open, wherever it opens. If it dips down, below its open, then look for, let's say, I'll put a Fibonacci on this. And, so suppose it opened at 229.97 right now, and it dipped down and then pushed through its open, then I'd buy through the push of the open. Same thing if it dips below the 75% level right here and then pushes back above the 75% level, that's at 225.40. I'd buy there, looking for 1% move plus. It's just a quick scalp trade. It's not. It's possible it could move up and continue going higher to its to this 238.20 level, but I don't know. And then the other way to do it is to the 61.8 level. The 61.8 level and the 61.8 Fibonacci and the 50% level are so close to the bottom of the gap. I'd probably look for an opportunity to buy at the bottom of the gap rather than trying to average in between the 61.8 and the 50% level on this one. So I'm going to leave this Fibonacci is run from the current price here at 229.97 to the previous close. TDOC. This is one that I put these on this morning. Okay. So this morning we have a tiny gap in TDOC. And what is TDOC again? TDOC. Oh, TeleDoc. Okay, that's right. Okay, so yeah, TeleDoc, with the possible need for more hospital care here, TeleDoc is catching a bid. And this isn't too bad, actually. So here we go this morning. I was just kind of looking at levels. And let me pull up the daily first so you can see. I love gaps. I love trading gaps. I love it when stocks open up above a gap because then it'll tend to use the gap as support and stuff. I don't like it when they open up in the gap. I really prefer stocks when they open up just above or just below a gap. It's easy and obvious support and resistance. So here, let's see, between the 19th of November and the 22nd of November, there's a tiny gap down right here from 116.99 to 115.67, very recent gap. And the price is flirting with that area here. The 10-minute does a really good job of illustrating it. So here's the top of the gap at, let's see, what was that, 116.99. And this morning it hit a high of 117, so it broke above it by a penny, big deal, 117 even. Found resistance, dropped back down here, and is now going back above the bottom of the gap. And in fact, you can see here after it got rejected from the top of the gap, the next 10-minute candle here, let's see, 115.67 is the bottom of the gap. This made a high at 115.75 and then got rejected from there too. So here we are right now at the bottom of the gap again, and it's acting as resistance. The best move on this one, in my opinion, today would be a move above the gap, a retest of the top of the gap, and a continuation move past the gap. So seeing 117 roughly, seeing $117 hold, and then a move higher from 117 would be an entry for me. Okay. So next up, the SPY. Why is everything red this morning? Well, apparently a couple of reasons. One is that China has decided to delist some ride-sharing company, DIDI. It has asked the company to delist. Now, I don't know if that means it's actually delisted or not. Let's check it out real quick. I'd be surprised to see it delist so quickly. So let's see, DIDI. DIDI is a ride sharing. It's such a crappy little stock. I don't see why it would have such a huge effect other than the chilling effect of China saying, hey, let's delist companies from the New York Stock Exchange. And because we're communists, we can do that. In a free market society, you're not allowed to just start delisting. Government isn't allowed to say, hey, delist from the New York Stock Exchange because we're communist. And, it just doesn't happen in a free market system. It's time to stop. We've been coddling the Chinese for so long. They don't have to abide by the generally accepted accounting practices, the GAAP rules, GAAP, which everyone else, even the Europeans, have to have. They have their own. The Europeans have their own accounting practices that are a little bit more conservative than U.S., but they still, if there's something that's listed, a European company that's listed on the American exchange, they still have to abide by the GAAP rules. For whatever reason, we've allowed the Chinese to enter into our markets, and they can make up whatever numbers they want written on a paper napkin and turned in, apparently. And so the Chinese are in our markets, and they're going to screw things up if we don't get them on board with our system of accounting and listing. Listings don't just go up and come out haphazardly. You don't just, we're going to jump in the market, we're going to jump out of the market. I mean, traders can do that, but companies listing on any of the exchanges, whether it's NASDAQ, NYSE, Amex, whatever, then, it's here for investors. This isn't playing a game. This is, people's savings and investments. And the exchange really doesn't like that. So we'll see, we've allowed China into our markets, and we are essentially condoning their behavior by not. And there's plenty more of this to come if we don't crack down on them. And even if we do crack down on them, there's plenty more of this sort of whimsical listing and delisting coming our way, and it will cause shocks to our market. I think it's coming one way or the other, whether we crack down on them or whether we let them continue to be the sort of jackasses that they're behaving like. Okay, so China's causing some issues for our markets right now. If the SPY opened up right now, this very moment, it would open up 1.5% lower than its previous close at 462 even, 461.98 now. And the VIX is spiking significantly here. This is the VIX chart that I've been using now for, almost 2 years. And so here recently, the VIX attempted to get down below this support and resistance line, had 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out, and then zoop, we get a volatility spike. Now, it happens to be coincidence. It's interesting. Sometimes these charts seem to predict, future, the pieces just somehow start to fit. So this volatility spike here with China hasn't spiked through this trend line. It's possible it will. I don't know. What today looks like exactly, it's going to be quite a show. We'll see what happens. My guess is this is just a blip on the radar, and that everything comes back down. This is a buying opportunity, a really scary, hold yourself by the crotch kind of buying opportunity, but most likely is a buying opportunity. Things will settle down from here. There's more to come, but for right now, this is just a spike. That could change. I could be wrong. It's going to take a few more days for that one to play out. It's a Friday too, so we'll see what happens. All right, Bitcoin taking another leg down to the downside here. A break of this level at 52,000 and a hold below 52,000 would put a kibosh. It would end this upward trend right here. So it would put an end to the trend that it put in, that it started right here. A break down below and a hold below 52,000 would make Bitcoin neutral. I wouldn't say it would be bearish. I'm just saying it would be neutral, and there's a new pattern in play. And my guess is that if it closes below this 52,000 right here, then the new pattern is going to be sideways. Fun. Okay, so then that is pretty much my morning strategy session. It was a bit of a long one. Hope you hung in there. Okay, and one last thing here. There was an Ishan Aurora who commented on my channel just recently about the short interest on, let's see, what was that? Let me get over to my channel here real quick. KTTA. He asked, what was the short interest on KTTA? So let's go to Yahoo Finance here. And let's find the short interest on KTTA. I can't imagine that it's very big. We go to statistics, share statistics, shares outstanding are 13.2, float is 5.31, held by insiders is almost 58%, held by institutions is 8%, share short is almost 31,000, which the short ratio is 0.06, short float is 0.26. So the short interest is extremely low on KTTA. It's usually something that I don't pay too much attention to on small cap momentum plays that have a low float. So when this thing popped up, let's see here. Yeah, here we go. So shares outstanding, are 13.778 million. This thing's relatively new. It's a relatively young company. And so the time that it takes in order to build a significant short position in a stock just isn't there. Let's see, what is this? 3 months old, roughly? September, October, November. Yeah, so just shy of 3 months old. That's really not enough time for anyone to build into a short position on a stock. Prior to it popping up on the 23rd, it had a range of $4 to $2.20. So the downside on this, Ishan, is just from people selling. If there were people holding it at $2.20, it pops up to $8.40. I mean, that's more than a 3 times move, and that's probably more return. 300% return is probably more return than you'll see on this stock for a significant amount of time. Let's see, KTTA was popping up on, it added esketamine nasal spray to its clinic offerings. These things just small cap momentum, it pops up and it sells off. It's unusual for small cap momentum to have multiple days like BFRI is having right now, where it pops up and continues higher and continues to move higher. Same thing, Ispc. It's unusual for small caps. It's got to be significant news. There's got to be significant business catalyst. Revenue and earnings, forward-looking, are growing type of thing. That could be happening with Ispc. It's hard to say, but it's unusual for small cap momentum stocks to continue moving higher. It's best to approach these stocks as nothing more than a trade on the day. And then also, I've got less than 1 minute to go. Also, if you're interested in a small cap momentum stock like this, wait until it pulls all the way back to its previous price. And inevitably, whether it takes 2 weeks or 6 months, they always do. Not always do, but they very often do. Okay, everybody, good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at the recap. Got 1 minute to go until the market open. Good luck out there. All right, I'll see you at the recap. I am out.